So, my name is Jockson. I'll be discussing the opposing side on tuition for students attending state-funded public institutions with higher learning should stay the same. So, to begin, my opponent stated that students are at a disadvantage entering the workforce. I disagree. Students entering the workforce are educated, prepared, and qualified. Entering the workforce, a student will be able to achieve higher pay due to them being more qualified and educated for their job and are able to pay off student loans. According to Credible.com, standard repayment plans have minimal monthly payments of usually around $50, so student loans can be flexible, and it makes higher education attainable for those who do not have the funds. A student opportunity. It's a perfect opportunity to build up credit history, and these are from the Central Banco Company. Also, student loans can be forgiven. So, according to Student Debt Relief, in Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, you may qualify to complete student loan forgiveness after 10 or 120 payments instead of standard 20 to 25 year forgiveness. So debts do not last forever all the time. There are cases where graduates apply for student forgiveness or student loan forgiveness, and also according to the Hettinger report, Republican nominee Donald Trump has called for a plan under which repayments of student loans would be capped at 12.5% of the borrower's income, and the debt forgiven altogether after 15 years. But to begin, my first significance claim is that tax rates would increase due to the responsibility of school funding shifting from the individual student to society. According to Vitania.org, proposed payment options have included closing corporate tax loopholes, increasing tax rates on the wealthiest by 0.1% in the U.S. So taxes would increase, and as for California being already at 9.5% in the LA area, people do not want higher taxes. The extra funding as well that the military receives, which is $600 billion, could have been used for school funding. Also, NPR, the National Public Radio, stated that the U.S. government public debt is now at 22 trillion or more than that. So paying tuition and student loans, it helps the economy with that. Richard Vedder, who is a retired professor of economics from Ohio University, found in a study along with Forbes Media in 2018 that states such as New York, Oregon, Tennessee have embraced the concept of free tuition for college attendance. So the newly elected New Jersey Governor, Phil Murphy, has enthusiastically embraced the idea to be financed in New Jersey by raising taxes in affluent residents with top rate on the income tax going to 10.75% from 8.97%, as well as increasing sales tax. So that was a 1.78% increase on taxes in New Jersey, which again, for those of us who reside in the LA area dealing with a combined tax rate of 9.5, complain that the tax rate is already high. So the tax rates do not need to be higher than they already are if college tuition were to be free. My second claim is that allowing free college tuition devalues the worth of the diploma. So when people are infused into a system that is not used to accommodating them, bad things may happen as a result. We experienced this already in an issue when the changes to the healthcare system in the United States were implemented in 2010. So with more patients qualifying for covered care, wait times at medical clinics went from 1 week to 6 months overnight. So that lowered the quality of care available and made accessibility more difficult. And if college were to be free, this issue would likely occur with the educational realm as well. And with budgets already strained in many areas, the likely result of free college would be reduction or termination of other core safety net programs which support low-income families. So students may feel that it may be easier to obtain a college degree if free tuition were to be offered, but it may lower the worth of the diploma. And for my first inherency claim, we're comparing ourselves, the United States to other countries. Why are we comparing ourselves to other countries? We have the best military. We are not like countries like Germany, Sweden, Norway, or France, or etc. We run things differently in this nation, so I asked my opponent, why are we comparing ourselves to other countries when we make our own path? According to the Hetchinger report, German university enrollment rose by 22% as tuition disappeared. The Ministry of Education and Research reports while the number of Germans who opt instead for vocational education has declined, the cost to taxpayers of subsidizing higher education went up 37%. So these other countries that put free tuition into place, such as Germany, taxpayers are paying 37% more than they used to pay for taxes. And for my first solvency claim, there is already a sufficient amount of aid that the U.S. Department of Education provides. So according to the U.S. News and World Report, through the financial aid process, colleges learn exactly how much each student can afford to pay and tailor their tuition accordingly. And as colleges have gone better at this process, they have been asking the relatively wealthy to pay higher sticker prices so that the less fortunate can receive increased financial aid. Also, work studies offered, Cal Grant, federal student aid offers grants and scholarships as well, so Pell Grants, the FSCO grants, which is the federal supplemental educational opportunity, Teach Grants, which is for teachers or who want to go into educational program, and then the Afghanistan service grants. But since this isn't enough for some, more funding could be made for schools instead of having college tuition taken away, which is my second solvency.
You're out of time, so I'm going to cut you off.